We are now joined by Sal Licata for more on the Mets, and obviously the news Monday was not a surprise. But Sal, how has Benge's strong spring changed your expectations for his rookie season?
I don't know if I would say that it has, Eamon, other than the fact that, good, he had an opportunity put in front of him to go earn that job. He did that. So that's the first check in the box. Now it's the real stuff. Now he's actually got to perform. So I don't have higher expectations just because he performed well in the spring. I would expect him. I trust David Stearns and I trust the Mets development staff. I would expect him to be a solid, at the very least, big league contributor. And if he doesn't get the job done, he will be held accountable because the organization has shown that they can do that, and they will send him down. But I wouldn't get too caught up in the spring numbers. I can't all of a sudden think Benge is going to be a stud just because he produced this spring.
Yeah, but you could go from a guy who might hit 250 to 280, but we'll see there. Obviously, as you mentioned, you can't put too much stock in spring training. But we did just see the projected Mets lineup that has Benge hitting 8th. How deep do you think this lineup can be for Mendoza?
I think it's better than what we've seen in years past. It's also different, obviously. Less power without Pete, without Nimmo. But you look at the guys right there. Look at the bottom of the order. Those are guys that they can. I believe in Marcus Semien. You just mentioned Carson Benge. Francisco Alvarez, I don't know if he's going to be the 9-hitter necessarily, but that bottom of the order is going to be able to set the table for Lindor, Soto, and Bichette. And even Polanco, you throw him in there. So I like the fact that it's much deeper. I like the fact that they have guys that are going to put the bat on the ball and grind out at bats. I like the fact that they're going to have guys that take the extra base, or that when they are on base, they can go from first to third base on a base hit, or whatever, steal second base on a ball that the outfielders lollygagging on. So I think the Mets are going to run the bases well. I think they're going to put the bat on the ball. I think they're going to score runs like that over the course of the season. That adds up to more wins than what you saw last year, even without the power numbers of those guys that they had.
Excellent usage of lollygag. You must have caught Bull Durham over the weekend, Sal. The Mets held an intra-squad game Monday with Nolan McLean getting his final work of the spring as the top prospect will start his 26th campaign on Sunday. Top of the third, McLean strikes out the aforementioned Carson Benge looking. Benge doubled off him later in the game. Top of the fourth, 2 men on with nobody out. Vidal Brujan with a single into left. That plates Luis Torrens for McLean's first run allowed. Next batter, Christian Arroyo. And McLean gets the ground ball and induces the 6-4-3 double play. And then he would strike out MJ Melendez to end the frame. 5th inning of work facing Jorge Polanco. He gets Polanco to fly out to left. That ends his day. McLean allows just 1 run over 5 innings of work with 5 punch-outs. Now, Sal, it was an eventful spring for McLean with those 2 WBC appearances. So how ready do you think he is for a bigger role in the rotation and greater expectations?
I think he's ready for the bigger role. I am not ready to say, I'm surprised at how many people have gone from 8 big league starts to the next Jacob deGrom Cy Young conversation. I'd love to see it. I believe it's in there. We saw that potential. I can't just sit back and pencil Nolan McLean in to be one of the best pitchers in the National League. I know about the spin rate. I saw what he did in the WBC. I know what he did last year. I need to see it consistently at the big league level. There's got to be some kind of learning curve. It can't be as easy as he made it look a year ago. So you really find out about somebody when they go through some adversity. I think he's ready. I think he's a competitor. I also think he's going to have to learn through his first full season in the big leagues when to dial it up, when not to, deal with some adversity. If a team's got his number, whatever that may be, I'm still looking forward to watching him learn on the go in this first full season in the big leagues with the Mets.
Yeah, no doubt there will be a few bumps in the road, but I think he is ready to go full bore for the Mets this year. All right, over the weekend, the Mets made news by announcing Sean Manaea will begin the season in the bullpen. He cranked the velocity up to the low 90s on Monday. But, Sal, does that decision make you feel good about the rotation or uneasy about it?
I don't have a problem with the decision, but I'm uneasy about the rotation because now all of a sudden the guy who I thought was going to take a big step forward this year, bounce back after a down year last year, he's out of the mix. He's healthy, but he doesn't have the velo. Okay, so now the wiggle room. What is David Peterson going to be? I don't know. They needed him desperately last year to give him 4 or 5 innings. He couldn't do it in the second half. Kodai Senga, everybody loves him this spring, and I know what he's done at his best. Do you really trust Kodai Senga when push comes to shove? All of a sudden, if those 2 guys don't do what they're supposed to do, that's 3 of the 6 original guys that aren't doing their job. So now I know that that's an if, but there's a lot of pressure now. Without Manaea, it's down to 5. And then you can talk about the depth that they have in the minor leagues. Okay, we know that they have the depth there, but that depth with starting pitching evaporates quickly. I hate that it's happened so early with one of the guys that I expected to be their third starter behind Peralta and McLean this year in Sean Manaea.
As we say often on this show, you never have enough pitching, and it's a long year. These things work themselves out on their own. But I think Peterson is the X factor. I think you bring up a good point. How's he going to bounce back from an increased workload last year?